you touched on this, but I keep going back to the role sort of Swenson. And your talk is what's good about masochistic pain.
Yeah.
And towards the end of your talk, you brought in what's good about it for the, assuming it's not just you alone doing it, but there's a,
yeah.
say this was, I'm just curious more about that and where you're going with that part, if you are.
All I know is some people I've, seem to describe it as there's a way of, especially with like the sort of heavy flogging that I'm describing at in that last bit. There's a way of that somehow this interaction forms an extremely intimate connection between the two people. And I guess my only real hypothesis or thought here is that, if it's right that sometimes what's going on is totally breaking down an individual's self, and if it's being done by some, in a trusting, loving way, I know that's how it is said, and I'll believe it because that's how, a lot of people describe it. So, that seems extraordinarily intimate, right? I mean, it's not just like, getting to know you. It's like, having control over the contours of who and what you are. So I could see that as being, an extremely intimate and bonding sort of thing, but I don't have thoughts beyond that. It's just a hypothesis. Ask the people who know.
Oh, actually.
Any other?
Oh, okay. Excellent.
A bunch of people do.
Yeah, actually, when you talk about that breaking down of self, one of the few places that you get to is a sense of losing your individuality. And if you have a top that you're connected to, then what happens is that it's not that you become empty, it's that you become part of that person.
That's what I was going to ask, is if the feeling of losing your individuality is feeling bonded to them.
You do.
Oh.
You do. Because I actually had an experience that way, but it was more of a service top position. It wasn't somebody I was connected to. And I got to that point of individuality, but when I had it after I was in a relationship, it's completely different.
Yeah. Interesting.
Total security, like complete and total security.
Can I add to that?
One possible.
In that particular situation, the interesting thing was that she got to that point where she started feeling that disassociation with self, and at that point she had a need to bond with someone she was close to, and the person who was participating in a more functional way wasn't able to fill that need. So as that loss of self occurs, then there's that desire to be close to someone that you do have that connection with.
Sometimes.
Yes.
So it doesn't necessarily just happen to whoever's beating you. There is that sense, at least in some cases.
Are there other people